Hey Lila, checking out La Vie en Rose. This is going to be a little bit random, but I think there'll be some stuff in here that you can use, hopefully. If not, what are we going to do? But I'm just looking at this. I'm not looking at the tab. I'm just looking at the notes, and not even all of them. I'm not paying attention to the arpeggios or any of it. I wish he had just had a lead sheet that had just the melody notes on it. I can pick them out from the top. I just cross out the other notes, but so I'm just looking at the harmonies. And trying to find ways to just that are natural for me to play that melody. That I can basically, I'm doing kind of what we've done for a bunch of tunes and thinking bass note and melody first, and just trying to play the melody and put the right bass note underneath it, and then from there kind of add the harmony to it. So like for example, that whole first, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars before it hits the E minor, is just G major. So you're just hanging out over this G bass note. So it's kind of G, and the melody lands on that F sharp there. So it turns into a G major 7. And on the E, that makes it a G6. So that whole nice melody in the beginning really is just just descending down to a G6 chord sound. All the 6 chord is the G with the E in it, that sound. Which G major 7 and G6 are kind of interchangeable in a lot of progressions. If you do like G major 7 or G6, they both kind of signal that really major sound. So it's pretty you can just think G sound for all of that. Hold on to that. It's pretty easy to grab that scale if you play it how we have been with our ring finger. And then moves the harmony to the E minor. Which is just some E. It's still kind of playing off the G major 7, and it's all G still. E minor and G, are the relative major and minor, so it's still kind of a G chord, just thinking of an E in the bass. But that little F sharp to G approach note, and then the big move is it lands on that E, and then we switch. Oh, sorry, my humidifier's running out. It'll just beep for a second. 2 chord. So that's A minor, which is the 2 chord. And then to the D for the 5 chord. So that whole first 8 bars is 1 chord for a lot of it. And then the 6 chord, which is as close to the 1 chord as you can get without playing the 1 chord. And then the big first move is in the 7th bar, 2 chord, and then 5 chord. So I would practice it just playing the bass. Switch to the 6, 2 chord. You don't have to have any fingers if you don't want, but you could make the A minor shape. Open D. And then the next phrase, same shape, goes up to the 2 chord. So I'm playing it like this, just because later on, if I want to add some harmony, I could do that. But you could just hit the open A. Yep, or you could play it down here. This way it's easier to see, I think. And I think of this as like A, G, F sharp, E, C. So it's kind of playing around the A minor arpeggio. That A minor 7. A, C, E, G, A. So it's going like that. Passing tone on the F sharp. E, C. So I might make this bar and go A being on the low E string, like that. And then when it switches to the F sharp, you're playing a D, but I might play the D here on the 5th string, just so that's a common kind of shape. Sits in that shape. That's the D7 shape. So bass note there on the 5th string, pinky on the 2nd string, 7th fret, ring finger on the 1, 2, 3, 4th string, 7th fret. You get that D7 sound. That's all D7. So we got A minor, back to A minor. Right on the 3rd note, it switches back to your D. It's just doing alternating between those 2 chords. Then we have this, which is just an approach tone. That's a G sharp to A. That's all over in a D7. So see, it sits right in that shape, so you can play that. So you could go D7, back to A minor, sits nice. Now we're down to this little cadence with the G diminished to D7. And basically what you're working on here is you're trying to get back to your one chord. So the G diminished, you could play that voicing. If you just want to play the G in the bass and then the D, you could find those two bass notes or open. Both work really nicely. But if you want to kind of work on that diminished, that's a good one. You know, all the diminished chords are, if they're a minor third apart, they're the same, functionally the same diminished chord. So they say G diminished in this, but it makes a little more sense as C sharp diminished, because you're leading, your next chord is a D7, and the C sharp would be the leading tone. Same notes. So that's that voicing. And it also puts the melody in the B string, which is nice. So you could do your middle finger A string 4th fret on C sharp, ring finger 1, 2, 3, 4th string 5th fret on G, first finger on B flat, 3rd string 3rd fret, pinky finger on E, which is 2nd string 5th fret. And just play the middle 4 strings. So it's got a C sharp rather than a G in the bass. I think it sounds a little nicer. Totally up to you, but that's a good option where you can just play those two notes. And then we're going to resolve to the D7, which you could just play that, but a good voicing that would work. So if you play your D here on the 5th fret, there's a really common dominant 7th voicing. It's like your C shape, move it up 2 frets, and add your pinky for the 7th. So if you play like a C7 chord, up 2 frets, that's what you're doing. Cool thing about it is it puts the root on the top on the B string. So you get that sound, which is nice. So your big spots, I would start just trying to pick out the bass notes and the melody, but when you start to get into wanting to add some harmony to it, so you just bar for A minor. You can put your ring finger here if you want to play all the notes, but that's an A minor 7 voicing. Down to this D7 instead of this D7. Same notes, just a different. This one's got the F sharp or the 3rd on top versus. So you get. Back to A minor, back to D7, little approach tone, then we do our C sharp diminished or G diminished, which leads us back to the G. And I think that's kind of a nice sound. You can just kind of like that, as long as you don't play it too fast. Cool. This video is getting long, so I'm gonna stop. Hopefully, those things will give you some ideas of different directions you could go. Yeah, if you need any clarification, just let me know and I'll either write it out or try to explain it better. But I think you can get it. Have fun. Happy New Year. I'll see you later this week. Bye.